Hi, my name is Moritz Beller, and I'm doing a PhD in Arie van Dersen's research group here at the TU Delft. I'm also the project lead of TestRoot's WatchDog. In this short video, I'll first explain to you what WatchDog is. I'll then explain to you how to install WatchDog, and as the last step, I'll explain to you how to use it. So let's go ahead. Now we have a nice project website on which you can find a lot of information. So the first question that you're asking, what is WatchDog and why should I install it? So WatchDog is a plugin that measures how you test, and that's something that your IDE usually cannot provide you information with. So for example, it does not show you how often you executed your tests, it does not show you how long you've been working on tests and how long you've been working on production code. Now, why is this information from you useful for us? We want to assess how long people are typically working on tests and on production code. And since you're taking a testing course, this is especially interesting because we've seen with software professionals that they only spend a quarter of their time on testing. Now the question is, how much time will you spend on testing? Now, despite supporting science and getting insight into how you actually develop, there might be another reason why you want to participate. And this reason are perhaps the awesome prizes that we're constantly raffling away. So we have a mechanical keyboard, some noise cancellation headphones, pretty nice ones, and an Android tablet if you participate. So now that I've convinced you to participate, how do you do it? Well, you fire up your Eclipse, and what you do is you drag and drop the install button into your Eclipse instance. Just drop it there. And then, because we're on the Eclipse Marketplace, it'll automatically find WatchDog for you, and you can install it via the wizard. So I'll just do that, accept the license agreement. That it'll warn you that it cannot verify this location, but it's from the TU Delft, so you should trust it. Now we're going to restart Eclipse. And then the first thing that will appear is a registration dialog of WatchDog. So you've got to register as a user with WatchDog, and I'll take you through that process. Now it's crucial that you follow the steps precisely as I do them, because otherwise your data will be intertwined with data from professional developers, and that's not something that we want. As your email address, please fill in your @student.tudelft.nl address. So I don't have one, so I can't do that right now, but you can please do that. As your organization or company, please fill in software testing 2015. And as your group, please fill in your group identifier that you also have on DevUp. So if you're group 1, then please fill in group 1. Under your programming experience, please specify the number of years that you've already been programming. So for me, that's over 10 years. And you probably want to leave that checkbox ticked on that you want to win prizes. Next. So this takes a bit longer because registration happens in the background on the server already. Do all Eclipse projects in this workspace belong to one larger project? Yes. That's actually some kind of best practice that you should generally follow, that you have separate workspaces for all the projects that do not share any data, because workspace pollution is actually a major problem in Eclipse. As the project name, please all fill in JPacman, and we should actually use the proper spelling for that. No project website is necessary. The project uses JUnit, so please select yes here. It uses other testing frameworks like Mockito. If you don't know what Mockito is yet, you'll learn it. And other testing forms, for example, manual testing. That depends a bit on you. Do you manually execute your program to test it? I typically do. So most of you will want to select yes here too. Now, one step further, this is where you have to make a bit of a guess. How much of your time do you think you'll spend on testing? And how much of your time do you think you'll spend on production code? Since this is a course about testing, you'll probably want to move the slider more towards the left side. But this is something personal. So please come up with a good estimation that you think fits what you do. Do you use JUnit only for unit testing? No, because some of the tests in JPacman will actually be integration and system tests, and we'll use JUnit as a driver for that. Do you follow test-driven design or similar practices? Well, I don't know what you're going to do, and probably you don't know either at this stage, so please select Don't Know. Now that we've everything filled in, WatchDog should be active. So your registration has been made on the server, and you get a user ID and a project ID, which have also been sent to your email address. Now watch the WatchDog icon here. If we click Finish, it should, the problem marker should disappear and WatchDog should be active. By clicking the WatchDog icon, we can verify that this is true. Now I want to make a simple example to demonstrate how WatchDog is working. Let's create a new project. Let's create a new class. The only thing that this example class can do is actually, it can give us its version. So let's return a 1 here. That would be int and that's it. Let's write a unit test for it. Now this is the magic of Eclipse. It figured everything out for us. Add JUnit 4 to the build path. And if we execute the test now, we should see that it fails. Indeed. So let's test our method. Let's create a new example class object. Let's get the version, which we should make public. And then if we remove the fail statement, hopefully we get a running test indeed. So let's inspect what we've done with WatchDog. WatchDog contributes a view. You can open that either through clicking the WatchDog icon and then clicking on the hyperlink, or by just doing Ctrl+3 and then typing WatchDog. So let's inspect our results here. Well, what have we been doing? Well, we worked over 70% of our time on test code and only 30% or roughly a minute on production code. Now if you install WatchDog, you'll get similar statistics. And this is not the only thing that you can look into. You'll also see how much you've been actually writing code, how long you've been active in Eclipse when it was open, how long your Eclipse was open, and so on and so forth. And it's of course important to emphasize at this point that we'll never use that data to make any suggestion about your mark or the work that you've been doing. So this is really completely anonymous. Well, I'd be really happy if you start using WatchDog, and should you encounter any problems, you can report them on our GitHub page. So thanks a lot for participating, and if there are any questions, just contact me. Bye bye.